Welcome back, and today is Wednesday. We are on the 10th of August. I'm so excited to see all of you today. How's everybody? Today we're going to start off with a really exciting news and kind of blow everyone up apart. This news is mind-boggling, mind-troubling, and mind-oozing. So before we start off our day, let me pay my greetings to those of you who are joining us for the first time, as well as our existing students. All right, so here we go. I'm going to turn on the live chat right now, and let's check this out. Welcome to a wonderful afternoon. Bing! Let's see who's in the house today. Welcome back, and good to see Kelvin. Good to see Jeanette. I see Yen. Welcome back. Good to see all of you. And I'm sure there are many out there who are connected with us through Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and YouTube, many different channels. And you can also fire off your live chat within your respective channels, and you can reach out to us right here. Yes, so thank you very much for joining us. And of course, today we're going to bring you a timely information ahead of tonight's Cozy live trading event. All right, so here we go. I want to touch off straight away on this mind-boggling news that kind of rattled the entire market. Wow, this is like mind-boggling. Here we go. Check this out. This is the latest as of Elon Musk as of the close of the market yesterday, which is around 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which will pop up this morning around 10 a.m. Singapore time. All right. Kind of shocked everybody that he sold off $6.88 billion worth of stock of Tesla. And, you know, he made a commitment previously in his filing that he's not going to sell any more stocks. So this news kind of stunned everybody. And he did it over the past 3 days. All right. So when he did a stock sale over the past 3 days, first of all, we can easily go back to the stock chart to kind of reverse engineer, right? And I really love to do this part. Over the past 3 days, what did he do and how did the stock price respond? All right. So here we go. We have right across in front of you, we have the Tesla stock. And again, we always bring it back to the year 2020, bottom left. And of course, we have the bottom right 2021, something like this. All right, so we just position it and we can see with clarity. And once we see this, he said that he'd been selling off the stocks over the past 3 days, and we want to know how did the stock chart responded. And I was kind of feeling it, because somehow the price of Tesla just couldn't go up. It broke the 200-day line, and I'm going to zoom in this part right here. This is your past 3 days. He sold inside this red box right here. Boom, right across here. This was his selling period. And of course, when he started to sell, we had a breakaway. We had a very good breakaway above the 200-day simple moving average line. You can see these are the insti picking up together with the retail investor. Dong, 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 dong. You start to navigate from 700, 800, all the way to 900 and above. And then we got these two really beautiful candles, full body candles, that's really above the 200-day simple moving average line. This is what we call the clean two candles, all right? Very, very beautiful clean two candles. They were located right above. And then this joker started to sell. So I was scratching my head. How could it be? We just broke above 200-day, just price just couldn't go up. Now I exited a few times on Tesla with profits, and in fact, I was sharing with all of you that I got out of Tesla recently as well, right? And what was the profit I took? I took a profit of $1,310 within a 1 day trade. Boom, get out. All right. So right after it passed through with two candles above the 200-day simple moving average line, and of course, Elon Musk is very, very smart, all right? He started to sell one, two, three. These three candles he started to sell like mad because it's like 6.88 billion worth of stocks that's selling like mad, all right? And he probably do it in through the prime broker, not bulk selling, but release. As the price goes up, we release. And then we go and verify right below how the volume candle would have responded, right? So this massive red volume, courtesy of Elon Musk. And then another second massive red volume, courtesy of Elon Musk again. Two massive red volume right there below. Okay. So what is the scheme of things? There's big three away from today's video, and I think we're going to learn something really exciting. Okay. So first of all, let me plot this out. Again, we go back to the 1 year and then we attempt to understand the logic of how he does his trade sale, and then we zoom out again. All right, so we're going to learn something from this. All right, so the place I want to focus on is this part right here. Okay, so I'm talking about October 2021 all the way to current. So I'm going to zoom in. Zoom. This is October 2021 right at the centerpiece. Let's move it a bit to my left, and then we can see it very clear. Okay, so we are going to understand that means to his perspective, at a price floor of 700, we started from August last year to this year. This is what we call a very strong price floor, right? And I'm going to box it up, then you can understand what I meant by price floor. You see so many candles captured within my red color rectangular box. The candles are ding dong, ding dong, ding dong, floating around the red box, right? And the moment this price candle get out of the red box, which you see exactly right here, that means it's a signal to him quickly think about selling it because he needs to raise cash. Now, for good reasons or bad reasons, we're going to dissect that later, right? We have to understand the price candle pattern first. So he didn't want the price to go up too high and he sell, and then he's going to be bombed like everybody. I mean, right now, everyone is kind of on Twitter calling him a liar, pants on fire, right? LIAR. and at least he sell at the 200-day simple moving average line. Still, not too many stones will throw at him. But because his cost price of his sale is literally zero, he has the founding shares, all right? So there's not much cost involved at all. So he's still the largest shareholder, by the way, all right? So this is the part. He created a ceiling, and this ceiling is right now related to $900, all right? So tonight's opening bell is going to be very, very critical because it's going to be related to the CPI data released at 8:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to trade through that period. And then opening bell at 9:30 a.m. Eastern Time, everybody will start to figure out what the heck is Elon Musk trying to do. And, the signal is very, very important to us right now. That is, tonight, I don't think it will crash, all right? But if everybody realizes that he has sold enough, then this movement to go up will be very, very strong, very, very strong. But of course, we have to believe in his storytelling, right? Whether we go back to the previous high of 1,002, this is the moment they're waiting for, okay? So this is from the chart perspective, and then I come back. Now we're going to analyze from articulation of the articles, all right? How he went about telling his story, whether is it convincing or not, and do the rest of the crowd really believe in the story, all right? So here we go. We come back right over here. These are all the major headlines, and I'm going to select the one by Bloomberg. Seems to be the most accurate in reporting, all right? So here we go. And we're going to play a 1 minute 44-second video. Let's listen to what they have to say from this three anchor right here.
Months ago, he wasn't selling any more Tesla shares and he sold almost $7 billion. And then he says again, he's not selling anymore. What's the story here? Yeah, that's right. This is his biggest sale ever of Tesla stock. So pretty interesting coming after that comment back in April when he sold almost $5 billion. This was, of course, before the Twitter deal had been nuked. It was very confusing this morning when he did come out with these sales. There was a lot of speculation in the markets as to what the purpose was. And he came through with a couple of tweets just a little while ago saying that this was about avoiding an emergency sale in the what he described unlikely event he is forced to go through with the Twitter deal. So it looks like he's looking to cash in on a substantial amount of stock while it is at a decent level, around $850 a share right now, up from those lows reached in May, just above $600. What are the chances, Emma, that he will continue to sell Tesla shares? Well, I think that very much depends on his fortunes in the courts and how, things play out with the Twitter deal. If he does sort of sense that he is going to be censured for it, that he is going to have to pay a penalty or move ahead in some way with it, we will likely see more sales, particularly if the stock stays around these levels.
Okay, we heard it, and we got a 2 time frame right now. We have an April sale price time frame, and then we have an August National Day time frame. August the 9th, he was selling it as well. And let's dissect this article, and then we go back to our data point, all right? So this is really important. So here we go. He sold 7.92 million shares on August the 5th, and our data is able to back that up, and this is really, really important work that we do right here at Spiking. And I'm going to show you what we are looking for over here. Here we go. Let's check this out. And here we go. I'm going to put these two articles side by side. On the left-hand side is the Bloomberg article. On the right-hand side is our very own proprietary Spiking data, all right? So we are able to track based on the vertical timeline in response to Elon Musk's sale of his own stocks. So right here presented, you can see the way we kind of built our data point, vertical drop line, connecting the dots, right? So he sold here like 50.6, 16.8, and then 868, 1.3, 2.6. This is like all adding up to the 6.8 million, all right? So 6.8 billion right over here. Ding, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong, ding, dong. All this taking place on 9th of August, dong, 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 all this data point falling in, all right? So this was published on the 9th of August, but the transaction took place over that 3 days range we gone through just now, okay? So this is correct. He sold off 7.92 million shares on August the 5th, and which was, we only get to know about the data, which is very, very important, only on 9th of August. So do not confuse between his trading transaction date versus his filing date. The whole world will be treated the same. We only get to know on the filing date. His transaction date, you wouldn't know. He can hide because he got a 48 hours time period to protect himself, all right? So this one we cross-verified already. Very good. And then we go on down. It was mentioned in the video that April, he sold as well, right? So I go through this vertical timeline on our software, and I want to go to the period of April, and I want to make sure I cross-verify that on our data point. And here we go. We are come to this part here. This was the one that he did on April 28. 2.1 plus zero point 0.8, that's about $3 billion worth of sale. All right. Transacted on 26th of April, reported on 28th of April. So you can see this bracket 26 and 28. All right. So it's just like the one that we see right now. Uh, the one that we see right now. All right. So I'm going to come back right now to the chart 26th of April. We go back right here and try to find our 26th of April. Where is our 26th of April? Which is found it. This super humongous long red candle. This was the day that he sold. So if we kind of box it out, you see, he loves to sell at this price range of 900. We kind of nail it. This is his favorite price to sell stock, all right? So it's creating pressure, stopping the stock price from going up. Because I think it's a very, very smart move. If you think from his perspective as the business owner, he knows that many punters are all in on Tesla, and as the price go up, they'll start dumping. So he might as well dump ahead of them. So it's called front running the stocks ahead of the rest who want to punt. All right. So a very, very brilliant, smart move. And it's also sending out a signal. Two signals were sent out right here, right? So there's this signal number one, that's the 28th of April, that period, and signal number two, which is around right there, right? So there were two signals being sent out. And all this, based on his reasons, is due to because of his acquisition of Twitter, all right? So let's go back to the article. We found that we can cross-verify that in our data. We've done a very, very important job already. And now we come back to dissect what article is telling us. Here we go. Okay. The first pain point, of course, is he has a big hole to cover, a $44 billion takeover of Twitter. And I don't think this is a big problem for him, because I'm confident if he takes over, my favorite outcome is they happily marry ever after. That Twitter will fall into the same family of companies like SpaceX, Boring Company, Tesla, Solar City, all in the family of Elon Musk. I hope that happens, because he has already has a clear vision to help Twitter acquire 1 billion customers. Now that's a big leap. He knows how to do it already, all right? And of course, he's not telling everybody until he owns the company, all right? So that 1 billion customers will easily cover this 44 billion hole that he has to fork out right now. But right now, there's a big hole to cover, okay? So this is his very, very forthright statement. In the hopefully unlikely event that Twitter forces this deal to close, and some equity partners don't come through, it is important to avoid an emergency sale of Tesla stock, which is prudent, all right? Nothing wrong with that. I think this is great planning. So as a result, he sold off 8.5 billion plus the 3 billion back then. He probably raised about 12 billion right now. And the rest he will borrow from his different equity, different investors. Okay, and the companies like Silver Lake will put together the deal for him. So here we go. And back then, please remember, when you sold off this 8.5, Tesla stocks have crashed and rebounded. And then right now you sell round two, all right? So I really like to see this, all right? This pattern, this very, very important pattern. Here we go. Please make sure we take note of this very, very important pattern. And that is right here and right here. And then, if I put a no strike there and then followed by a big smiley face, this is Elon Musk. All right. He is smiling away. As the price goes down, he is laughing all the way to the bank. All right. I'm not too sure. Am I getting the drawing right or not? All right. So it probably looks like that. And then Yeah, that goes. That's Elon Musk for you. He's laughing at all the players out there. He caused a panic back then. In April, stock price tanked to 700, and at the rock bottom, he reset and refueled with a fresh breed of investors into Tesla. As they built the price up to 900, he dumped them again. Two rounds of dumping. This is really, really gorgeous. I love this, all right? So tonight we're going to see the reaction, and we're going to come to the succinct point, how we're going to attack this new announcement, right? So much to learn from here. By the way, how many of you are enjoying today's presentation so far? Wow, let me hear from you. Do you enjoy so far? All right. Please get out there and let me know your feedback. I need to drink some tea. Oh, no response. Afternoon is a bad time, is it? Henry goes, are you ready, Jamie? Yeah, Benjamin, enjoying, that's good. And who else? Mark Wong, love your drawing. That's impromptu. JLo, SS, and Calvin, that's good. All right, make sure you guys enjoy the process, because I'm going to go into now I'm going to go to the deeper side of things. All right, there's a lot of things to think about, and so much things to just learn from Elon Musk on this deal. Right, so here we go. And then there's a consensus in the fact that he's certainly clarifying that he's cashing out for Twitter. The timing of the sale just ahead of the US CPI release does say something though. Look at this line. He is also very nervous about tonight's CPI data. We might get above 9.1 and the whole market will tank. So he better get out of the position first before the market tanks, all right? So, but to me, anything could have happened. The inflation data could drop below to 8.5 or 8.8. Preferably, you hit my nice round number, 8.8%, and that market kind of hang, right? And everything turned green. Anything could have happened. He cannot front run the Bureau of Labor Statistics, BLU. All right, I don't think he got an inside, but you never know. He could have. Maybe I shouldn't utter the word. You never know that he knew. Perhaps he knew the officials inside the BLS. All right. Okay, that's hush hush. The bear market rally has started to falter, and further repricing of Fed expectation could mean more pain for equities ahead, especially in tech. All right. So the timing, we learned number one, typically get out at about 900. Number two, this is the second sale to cough up the cash for 44 billion. Number three, he did it the last 2 days ahead of the CPI data announcement tonight. All right, wow. And then this is the tracking by Bloomberg. Twitter proposal happened here in April, and the moment when he announced that in April, the stock price of Tesla tanked. Boom. That's the reason why he was only able to get out about $900. He could have got out at 1,001 but I think he's trying to show himself that he is a fair owner, right? You see, this price point and with yesterday's sale is around $900. It's a fair deal. He's not like trying to milk anybody. I don't think he has any intention to do that, all right? Uh, because later on we're going to draw one final conclusion. All right, I'm going to share the data on that, and of course, these are all the conversation. There's this whole breakdown of the 44 billion right here. In May, he planned to drop plans to partially fund the purchase with margin loan tied to his Tesla stake and increase the size of equity component to 33.5. He had previously announced he secured 7.1 billion. Now, we know that 7 plus 3, right now he has sold about $10 billion worth of Tesla stock, right? So that is really making sure he has the secured enough commitment, all right? So who are the supporters of Elon Musk? You have Ellison, Sequoia Capital, and Binance CZ, right? So you go down right over here, and then he did a sample polling on Twitter again, asking everybody, do you believe there is spam, there's trolls, and all that? And of course, everybody voted with him. Maybe he's going to use that as a piece of evidence to the judge, right? That if the users are also having spam issues, like I got so many people impersonating my Twitter account, and Facebook is even worse. Oh my gosh, Facebook is horrible. Facebook, Twitter, we got impersonators. Instagram, I got hit as well with impersonators and so on, right? So just be very careful. Now, as long as you're a public figure, you should get hit, including our prime minister. So many people got hit, including our famous billionaire in Singapore, Peter Lim. The spammers are just everywhere. So we go down right over here. So he has sold around $32 billion worth of stock in Tesla over the past 10 months. All right, so 32 billion. So we take 44 minus 32. So he only really need to raise about 12 billion, of which above he could raise about 7 billion. He still have a shortfall about 5 billion, right? I mean, for us to say the number 7 and 5 like so easy, right? Let me tell you, by $1 billion itself is a lot. It's not easy. It's not simple. Okay? So he's really planning ahead, coughing up. I think he probably been advised by the lawyer he'll probably lose. So that 32 billion right here, plus another 12 billion to cover the whole to hit 44 billion. All right, so y'all got the mathematics here, right? So the final nail in the coffin is by Gene Monster. This guy is a very, very good analyst. I used to cover Apple back in my days, and right now he runs his own independent hedge fund, right? This is going to be a headwind for Tesla in the near term. In the long term, all that matters is deliveries and gross margin, which I don't think Elon Musk has any problem to hit those numbers, all right? So we nailed this, right? And the final thing I'm going to show all of us is right here. It started off with this tweet by Sawyer Merritt, and once he tweeted out, we got the data about his Form 4 selling as well. And he asked Elon Musk, are you done selling? All right. And then from this question, Elon Musk replied below, yes. In the hopefully unlikely event that Twitter forces this deal to close and some equity partners don't come through, it is important to avoid an emergency sale of Tesla stock. That's it. Just like that. Very, very simple. Okay. So this is the one that we need to know. And, he's just being open-minded. If he wins, then he walk away from the deal without paying $1 billion fine. If he loses, he has to cough up 44 billion to acquire Twitter, which to him, he can monetize it easily. All right. So I think it's a win-win. So I pray that happily married ever after. Right. So then, of course, the moment he said this, there are other responses like this. Look over here. Didn't he just say recently that he won't sell anymore, and now he sold another 3 million? I'm disappointed. It feels like you lied and us retail investors got screwed again. Elon said no more planned sales 4 months ago. Okay, so he's being hammered upside down right now, but there's nothing wrong with him selling it. So what is our game plan for Tesla with this revelation about him, raising about $30 billion worth of cash ahead of the Twitter acquisition, right? 32 billion worth of cash. Very, very fascinating, right? And I'll end off by looking at the chart once more. And then I ask all of you to draw a conclusion, all right? So I covered in my previous videos on Tesla, there is a stock split, which is coming up. There's a stocks buyback, which is also coming up. And of course, there's a major grand delivery of sales. Typically, their best earnings is in January, when typically year end they'll ramp up the sales like crazy, crazy. All right, so together with the Joe Biden's right now coming out with the extra grant to help people buy into electric vehicle, I think it's not so much of headwinds, but I think it's a tailwind. But how to navigate, how to play it, this is what I'll be addressing right here tonight. And for those of you who subscribe to our Don't Stop Believing, and let me put this guy up right here. Ding. Here we go. This is the one. All right. This is the one that quite a number of you were asking us questions on this. Hey, teacher, what exactly is this Don't Stop Believing trade notification? All right. This is exactly what we do with all the data of Warren Buffett, Katie Wood, Temasek. Everybody, the moment they buy, sell anything, our data will expose them. We open up the black box. And then for those of you who kind of like my teaching, and when I connect the dots, I say, okay, I also put out my trades just like a SEC filing. All right, I imagine it's a SEC filing. Every time I file off a trade, I'll just send it out to those who subscribe to our Don't Stop Believing. So it's factual, verified data, and you go to see exact the time right up to the per second level, what time I bought, what time I sell, so that you can learn. So my approach to this is very, very simple. All right. What's the best form of education? I've been thinking about it because ever since, again, since I started this YouTube live stream, I cannot imagine so many people, so many people out there targeting my YouTube channel so that their ads will appear every time I run my YouTube live stream, or even if anyone watching my YouTube. All right. So it's really, really amazing. And as I thought about it, this guy spends so much time, coming out with gimmicky ads, spend so much money with Google and Facebook to run their ads just to get views. I believe one thing, and I want to cross-verify this against all of you who are watching right now. And I ask you this question. Do you think content or ads will win? I post this out right now. Do you think content or ads will win? All right. So I like to hear your feedback and help me check out if there's a blind spot that I've not seen before. Let me know, because I know one thing for sure. And by the way, thanks Jamie for giving the first answer. The rest is all keeping quiet because they love to watch ads. Oi! Where's the rest of you? All keeping quiet. Oi! Wow. We are Jeanette Hannah. Wow. Jeanette Hannah Hunt. Wow, you got a JHH. Of course, content. JLo Substance says everything. As are all rubbish. Kevin definitely. And my teacher has the best substance. Okay, so help me spread the word. All right. What my thoughts are these 3 points. 3 points. Number one. The moment you get into the addiction, and I really call it addiction. Many companies out there are right now like drug addicts. What do I mean by that? They fell in love with spending money on ad platforms like Facebook, Google, Instagram, TikTok. They thought that by spending money, they can capture eyeballs out there with number two, their gimmicky ads. And by the way, their ads takes time to make, let me tell you. And I was thinking, what the heck? You spend so much time creating those ads, you might as well spend more time analyzing the market to help your students. That's my takeaway. So I told my internal team, we are not going to run ads like that. It's absurd. Because my role model and my benchmark is who? Elon Musk. He has not run a single ad, and he sold the most number of EVs on planet Earth, way ahead of Toyota, ahead of Ford, ahead of General Motors. The traditional 100-year-old companies lost to a startup called Tesla. Zero ads, zero distributorship, direct sales model. That's what we need to take from the market. You watch these companies every day and learn from them and apply it. But any trader out there, if they're seriously studying Tesla, and they are still running ads, there's a conflict in their thinking already. They are not serious investor or trader. They are just marketers. All right. So I say that step one, they got in the habit of drug addict. They like to spend money to run ads to get views. Number two, they got into the very, very dark hole of spending more time on their marketing gimmicky ads. Because they have to come up ideas how to run ad to attract eyeballs, right? And they come up all kind of fanciful thing, talking to each other, appearing in different background and scene and all that. I say, what the heck? That takes a lot of time. That takes seriously a lot of time, and which is not productive about learning investing and trading. And step three, which is the most crucial of them all. By the time any one of you click on their ads and go and attend their classes, let me tell you, their syllabus will be fixed for life because you have no more energy, no more time, no more creativity to improve on their syllabus because they are not moving with the market every day. You guys got it right now? I decided I want to stay in the market every day. Let's launch a 100-day inspiration. And back then, the original intent was really just to help our spiking community to tide through second half of 2022. But since I start running YouTube ads, all these crazy guys start targeting my channel, and I got this breakthrough. And my breakthrough is this: there can never be a fixed syllabus for teaching you how to invest and trade. I must teach you according as the news evolve, as the changes in the market evolve, and I teach you there and then, bam, you got it straight away. My syllabus will be dynamic, will be live every single time I see you on a YouTube live stream. How's that, everybody? Okay, so help us spread the word. You guys can really, really help us by asking your friends, your colleagues, if you have benefited from this daily YouTube live stream. And I'm preparing for my trip already. When I arrive in the US, I'll start doing live stream from my phone and just boom, stream out. All right. And then once I settle down in the I'll be staying in the hotel for 2 days. And then I will switch over to stay in Harvard Business School for 1 month. and I'll be able to settle down my cameras, everything, every night, fixed schedule, do the live stream on the YouTube. And because there's so many things happening in the market, I mean, every day we are learning something really, really fascinating here. All right. So today, the biggest takeaway, Elon Musk has amassed $32 billion cash pile all ready to take up Twitter in the event the court, impose on him to acquire Twitter, which, by the way, the moment you leave the decision to the court, it can be any direction. I've gone through court cases many, many times in my past, and sometimes the decision are against you. Not that fundamentally I don't believe I'm wrong, but it's the learned judge who makes the decision what to do, right? We call it saktam. So, and I think Elon Musk had the saktam moment where he has to buy Twitter for 44 billion. He's just, shoring up his cash, and probably his partners already sound up indication to him. Could be from Larry Ellison, could be from ZZ from Binance, could be from anyone previously who committed before the crypto market imploded. But right now, with the implosion of the crypto market, they say, hey, brother, I'm tight on cash right now. I can't support you. And I think this is the message he's hearing from his supporters. All right. So enjoy today's session, and I look forward to meeting all of you tonight. Please turn up early. We're going to have a great, great time. Push all the way 5 hours, 7 p.m. to 12 midnight. I got so much things to cover with you guys. And most importantly, make sure I do a really thorough, cozy live trading tonight. And by the time I come back from Harvard in September, that's the only time I'll meet you again. All right. So tonight will be a long session. Thank you, everybody, for supporting our YouTube live stream. Please share our links with your friends, your colleagues, and your village. Thank you, everyone. Thank you, and God bless. Goodbye.